Joseph-Marie Auguste Caillaux was a French politician of the Third Republic. He was the leader of the French Radical Party and Minister of Finance, but his progressive views in opposition to the military alienated him from conservative elements. He was accused of corruption, but was cleared by a parliamentary commission. This political weakness strengthened the right-wing elements in the Radical Party. Biography. After studying law and following lectures at the École des Sciences Politiques, he entered the civil service in 1888 as an inspector of finance, and spent most of his official career in Algiers, standing as a Republican candidate in the elections of 1898 for the Department of the Sarthe, in opposition to the Duc de la Rochefoucauld by Zaïre. He was elected to the Chamber of Deputies by 12,929 votes to 11,737. He became Minister of Finance in the Waldeck-Rousseau cabinet, and after its fall it was not until the Clemenceau ministry of 1906 that he returned to office, once more with the portfolio of finance. In 1911 he became Prime Minister, the leader of the Radicals. He favored a policy of conciliation with Germany during his premiership from 1911 to 1912, which led to the maintenance of the peace during the Second Moroccan Crisis of 1911. He and his ministers were forced to resign on the 11th of January 1912, after it was revealed that he had secretly negotiated with Germany without the knowledge of President Armand Fallas. Nevertheless, thanks to his undoubted qualities as a financier, he remained a great power in French politics. He fought the 3 years service bill with the utmost tenacity. Although that measure became law, it was he who finally, on the financial aspect of that bill, brought about the downfall of the Baudin ministry in the autumn of 1913. While the Entente Cordiale was in effect, it was impossible for Caillaux to return to the position of Prime Minister, but he joined the succeeding Doumer cabinet as Minister of Finance. As a financial expert, he had long identified himself with a great unnecessary reform in the fiscal policy of France, the introduction of the principle of an income tax. Throughout the winter of 1913, he campaigned for this principle. His advocacy of an income tax, and his uncertain and erratic championship of proletarian ideas, alarmed all the conservative elements in the country, and throughout the winter he was attacked with increasing vehemence from the platform and through the press. Those attacks reached the highest point of bitterness in a series of disclosures in Le Figaro of a more or less personal nature. In 1914, Le Figaro started the publication of letters addressed by Caillaux to Henriette Caillaux, the second Madame Caillaux, while he was still married to the first. In March 1914, Madame Caillaux in turn shot to death Gaston Calmet, the editor of Le Figaro newspaper, and Caillaux resigned as Minister of Finance. In July 1914, Madame Caillaux was acquitted on the grounds that she committed a crime passional. Caillaux became the leader of a peace party in the Assembly during World War I. After a mission to South America, he returned in 1915 and at once began to lobby. He financed newspapers, and did everything he possibly could behind the scenes to consolidate his position. He became acquainted with the belows and the malvis of political and journalistic life. By the spring of 1917, he had become in the eyes of the public l'homme de la défaite, the man who was willing to effect a compromise peace with Germany at the expense of Great Britain. However, the advent of Clemenceau to power killed all his hopes. This led to his arrest and trial for treason in 1918. After long delay, he was tried on a charge of high treason by the High Court of the Senate, and sentenced to 3 years' imprisonment, the term he had already served. He was also forbidden to reside in French territory for 5 years and deprived of civil rights for 10 years. Again rehabilitated after the war, Caillaux served at various times in the left-wing governments of the 1920s. Joseph Caillaux Caillaux is interred in the Père Lachaise cemetery in Paris. His political collaborators included the Norwegian journalist and politician Émile Roche. Cailloux's ministry, the 27th of June 1911 to 11 January 1912. Joseph Caillaux, President of the Council and Minister of the Interior and Worship. Justin Dessalves, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Adolphe Messimy, Minister of War. Louis-Lucien Clots, Minister of Finance. René Renault, Minister of Labor and Social Security Provisions. Jean Croppi, Minister of Justice. Tessaphile Delcasse, Minister of Marine. Theodore Stieg, Minister of Public Instruction and Fine Arts. Jules Pams, Minister of Agriculture. Albert Lebrun, Minister of Colonies. Victor Organer, Minister of Public Works, Posts and Telegraphs. Maurice Couébert, Minister of Commerce and Industry. Works, The Fiscal Question in France. King, 1900. With a France. With a Europe. T. Fisher Unwin, 1923. Articles, Economics and Politics in Europe, Foreign Affairs, Volume 1, Number 2, the 15th of December 1922. France's Needs and Europe's Danger. The Living Age, the 10th of February 1923. Destiny Has Changed Horses. The Living Age, the 4th of October 1924. A United States of Europe. The Living Age, the 6th of June 1925. A Gospel of Firmness and Vigor. The Living Age, the 31st of July 1926. Whither is Civilization Drifting? The Windsor Magazine, Volume LXX, June, November 1929.